In today's video, I'll be taking you guys through a step-by-step guide of how to apply for the Russian student visa. So the first step is securing a university admission and an invitation letter. So when you apply to a university, they usually send you an invitation letter for you to come into Russia. So without the invitation letter, you cannot step into Russia. So it's very important that you're firstly accepted, and if you want information on how to apply for a scholarship, I already recorded some videos. I will add the video right there and you can just click it. The second step is to gather all your important documents, and I will go into listing each one of them. But before then, it's very important that you pay attention to the documents and make sure they're correct and valid and none is expired. If you find that there's something wrong with any of the documents I'm about to mention, be sure to resolve that issue as fast as you can. At number one, you have to have a valid passport. And number two, a completed visa application. And number three, recent passport-sized photos, original invitation letter from a Russian university or the Ministry of Internal Affairs in Russia. The other document is your HIV and AIDS test, which has to be issued within the last 3 months and has to be valid for at least 15 to 30 days. And also your medical insurance that has to be valid for Russia. The other important document is your educational certificate. I remember when I was traveling, I traveled immediately after graduating from high school and I didn't have my certificate yet, but I had my transcript. So I traveled, but they still wanted my certificate. So my parents had to send it in through other, means after it was out, because it takes a while for the certificate to, a physical certificate to come out immediately after you write your exams. So you have to keep the logistics in mind as well before traveling. The other document you have to have is a proof of payment for your application. In some countries there might be additional payments, but that would depend on the country you're in. So if you tailor the fees and amounts according to where you are. Step 3, you have to fill out the visa form. You have to go to the official application website. I will leave it in the description box so that you have that information. So it's called visa.kdmid.ru. So you just click there and fill it in correctly, of course. Now you have to be careful when filling it up. Don't make any mistakes, especially with your passport information and the like. Afterwards, you have to print and sign the form. Step 4 is submit your application. How? So you have to make an appointment with the embassy, submit all your required documents. Some embassies will require you to undergo an interview, but I didn't have one, so you don't have to. If you're from Zambia, I don't think they ever interview us, do they? No, I don't think so. And then you have to pay for your visa. This depends on the kind of visa the amount would depend on the kind of visa you're applying for. If you want it quick, it will be more expensive than the regular visa, you know. So just keep that in mind as well. Step 5 would be to wait for the processing of your visa. This might take a few days and it would depend. If you paid for the express visa, it might get ready in 3 days. If you know you've just paid for the regular visa, it might take a week, 2 weeks, depending on, you know, the embassy in your country. After arriving in Russia, it's important that, you know, the processing starts immediately when you just come. You step your foot in Russia, right at the entrance. Start, you know, seeking ways to make sure you're living in the country legally with no document issues. You must register for another visa here in Russia within 7 days. Get your visa registered, get a registration and an immigration card. The immigration card is usually given to you upon arrival when you just get off the plane, right at the, you know, the port there. So you state your reasons for coming to Russia, and if you're a student, make sure they write on the immigration card that it's for study. Your purpose for being in Russia is study. Make sure uchoba is written there and not any other thing. Okay? All right. So these were the few steps I collected in this video. I hope it's helpful. If you have any other questions, be sure to leave them in the comment section.